As they say in Italian, buonasera everybody. Buonasera a tutti. And yeah, good evening everybody, good afternoon, wherever it is you're watching from. And yeah, we're here for the GP2 Italian Grand Prix round 11. No, not 11, round 10, I believe it is. Yeah, round 10 of this 2020 season. I'm your lead commentator, Robert Ionesco, as per usual. And this time I'm joined by the man third place in the championship, making his first ever GP2 commentary appearance. It is Juan Nguyen. Hello there, Min. How are you doing? I said, how are you doing? Can you hear me? I don't believe. I don't know if you're saying anything, but I can't hear you, Min. So we'll just be waiting for you to return. But I guess in the meantime, while you get your, I assume you have some mic issues. So while you sort them out, I'm going to go through the preview, of course. We've arrived here after an entertaining qualifying session in which Aaron Curtis took his second pole of the season and has increased his championship lead from 6 points in favor of Rahul Patel to 10, thanks to 4 bonus points for pole position. Last season here, Marek Galovic, who is no longer in the series because he's a fake driver, we found out. Marek Galovic came from 15th on the grid to win the race in an incredible comeback. It was quite a surprise. He jumped everybody. Will someone be able to do the same? I don't know. But in any case, it's time to take a look at the grid for today. If Min doesn't get it sorted in time, I'll have to do the entire grid. So here we go. Aaron Curtis is on pole. Jesus Pernian, one of the frontrunners in the championship, is currently in P7. He is 25 points behind Aaron Curtis, but still plenty of things he can do, of course, from second on the grid. Ruslan Protsuk is in third, hoping to maximize his momentum, as also Gabriel Quintino in P4 in P4. The man has had a very good run of form recently, and he's P8 in the championship right now. Maybe he has a slim outside shot, who knows? If he can gain some more points on leaders, that could definitely help him out. Coutinho's been on the podium twice in a row. He's taken third in Hungary and in Belgium. His teammate Lorenzo Tomaselli is right behind him in the Campos, ahead of Curtis's teammate Joel Warson. Afterwards, we got the two damps of Dennis Graf and Vojta Kulisic. Good to see Vojta qualifying off the back row for a change. Max Gillen is in P9 and he is joined by just Ferg Suta on the fifth row. Afterwards, we've got Nicholas Zorbach and Muhammad Usman Hamid, who is down in P12. Henry Watzel is in 13, followed by Ben Svalniger. Then it's the two Carlins, Afento Sononome and Juan Nguyen in P16. He's got a lot of work to do if he wants to get some good points. But we've seen him pull some comeback drives before, so who knows, he might be able to do it again. Luca Farina is in P17 in their Grand Prix car. The man who finished fourth in Belgium, a little bit angry at his team back then, at his teammate specifically for holding him up and costing him the podium. Santino Andreoli in P18. Adam Chobot and Rahul Patel with a lot of work to do on the penultimate row, 19th and 20th respectively. And on the back row of the grid, we have Alex Bruster in the HWA and Kyle Burns in the Cheroos. Don't forget at the end of this race, Flo will tell you, I will tell you what the next race is, the voted track. Even if I wanted to tell you right now, I couldn't because Flo is being a sneaky fox and hasn't told me yet. So you will all know at the end of this. In any case, Min, are you back?
Um, yeah, okay, yeah, I'm back.
All right.
Hello, hello there.
Okay,
We
that's
can
good
hear you this
then.
time. How are you doing?
So sorry, Joe and Rahul, maybe also. You won't be needed today then. But thanks for. I appreciate the help of jumping in.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Well,
No problem, it
it
happens.
seems like we've sorted the issues, so that's good. How are you feeling about this race? I'm not talking about yourself. I mean in general.
Well, I think the race for me is going to be really random, even though that's mostly all about the straight line speed, but it's going to be random, surely.
Yeah, indeed. It's a long run down to turn one, and we've seen plenty of accidents happen over the years. Is something gonna happen? It's a high likelihood, but we never know. There's only one way to find out. Let's take a look at the weather then. Not gonna rain, even a drop. So then, are you excited for this race?
Yep.
Alright then, here we go. It's gonna be not a long waiting period for the game to load, and it should be a very interesting race. Who'll take the lead at the start? You never know. It's a long run, so anyone in the front two rows could take the advantage. If anyone can pull a Fernando Alonso start from 2011, that could be interesting. But here we have Curtis on the inside. That's where it usually Paul is on the outside here, but he's on the inside. Curtis is on the right of the track. We have Perion on the left. We have one light, we have two lights, we have three lights, we have four lights, we have five lights, and now we are underway. The front two get away well. I think Pernian has gotten away just a little bit better than Curtis, though. He's already having to defend the inside. They're going to go side by side into turn one. Pernian might have an advantage if he can get later on the brakes, which he does. He's taking the lead. Good start from Jesus Pernian.
And it
People
seems
going a
like
little bit close
turn
towards the
one.
back, but Curtis has lost the lead. Great start from his Pernian. But look at this. Aaron Curtis is trying to get it back straight away. He's going to attack from the second chicane. Then get the job done on the brakes.
And we'll see. No.
Has he gone wide there? Meanwhile, Protic has overtaken Quintino. I mean, re-overtaken. Gwen has made an incredible start. He's gained 5 positions, I believe that was. And Jolie's had a terrible start. And in contrast to that, it looks like Pernian is still having to watch out because Curtis is all over the back of him. Meanwhile, let's take a look at this. Zinoma is trying to overtake Ben Svallinger in the second Lesmo. Obviously had to back out of that one, but take a look at this. Aaron Curtis is all over the gearbox of Jesus Pernian. And Ruslan Prucik is getting in there too. No one made any moves there as Waterston was defending from Pulisic. And Nguyen makes up another place. He's into the points already. What an incredible start he's having. Patel, meanwhile, manages to clear Farina, or does he? Just about he doesn't. Looks like he's under pressure from Burns. Meanwhile, here goes Curtis into Parabolica. Had a look at Pernian. The Spaniard held him off. Protic will be jumping on the attack right away, I'm sure. Meanwhile, here we have Patel trying to send it down the inside of Farina, who's gone extremely wide into the Parabolica. Has he lost the position? I am... No, he hasn't lost it. Meanwhile, Pernian has held off Curtis for now, but he's going to send it under braking for sure. He backs out just at the last moment, as Dennis Graf moves up to 4th place. He's past Quintino, and Tomaselli's overtaken Warson. Pulisic gets back into P8 in the meantime. With a good move there down the brakes. And look at this, here comes Broster attacking Patel, and he's crashed into him completely. Patel's gone up the track, and he's stopped the car when rejoining, but nobody's taken any damage from that at all. Just some wounded pride is all.
And that's a lucky break indeed. No damage whatsoever, so it's a great thing at least.
I think Broster was a little bit too optimistic with that one. If I had to pin the blame on anyone, I'd have to pin it on him. But in any case, everyone got off without a scratch. As Curtis had another look in the second chicane, he couldn't make it work, and neither could Nguyen on their respective opponents.
And Zorbak currently in 12th place right now, and he's around like a few hands
Looks like
ahead of...
Soto is Rebecca Nguyen is going to try to attack him in towards Correa de Serralio. We are there now, actually. Dennis Graf is right behind Ruslan Protic. Quintino getting involved too. The leaders are scrapping it out as well. Looks like Curtis is going for it this time. Can he make it work? Once again, he couldn't. But that was quite close for comfort. Looks like Protic is still in third, I believe, as there's been a massive lockup for Henry Watzel that was. Watch out for Wallinger, not his teammate Andreoli, meanwhile, as Curtis is slowing down dramatically. He's being swarmed all over the place. Look at this, Protic is making a move, or trying at least. He overtook Quintino, or I should say stayed in front of Quintino, but couldn't get by Curtis. But Bernier has pulled away so massively. Curtis is sitting back on the straight right now. As we complete lap 2 in this race, Bernier sets the fastest lap naturally. Here goes some Protic on the attack. Can get Aaron Curtis in the first corner.
Inside,
on the brakes, hardly goes.
Yes.
He's got him, yes. Meanwhile, Joel Warson has made a great diving move. I think he's gained a couple of places. Gwen is up into 9th place, meanwhile, and Valgar has taken 13th. Watch out for Adam Chobot in the meantime. He tried to overtake Andreoli, but failed. Next target for Protic will be the race leader, Jesus Pernian. And meanwhile, Dennis Graf wants to jump at the bit and get himself onto the podium. Can he dive it past Aaron Curtis? Not quite.
No,
Curtis has gone very wide, but kept position. Meanwhile, Skillen has made the move he wanted to make, as now Watzel has just been overtaken by Hammett. And by Shinonome almost. No, he's forced him off. And the Japanese driver's lost 1. He's lost 2 places as Burns makes his way through.
That's just terrible right there for Shinonome. He does not deserve that.
It's unlucky. Anyway, looks like bad blood between the Trident teammates. Warson is attacking his own teammate, and Curtis. Warson is having an amazing run. Wait, when did he get up to 4th? Past 2 people at once here, or what? Looks like he got past Dennis Greffer on the outside of the first Lesmo. Some good teamwork here. That was quite bold from Joel Warson. He's on fire right now from his P6 start. Obviously, he dropped back a couple of places early on, but he's recovered already as Zorbach runs quite close to Sudo there. Sonome tried to dive back, and he's gotten into 16th place. As there is a problem for Gabriel Quintino. That's why Warson gained out of place. Quintino's brakes have failed, and when did the problem happen? All the way back on the main straight. Are you kidding me? What a shame for Gabriel Quintino. Looks like his podium run is going to end. I'm just surprised he managed to do the entire lap with a brake problem.
This is too quick, we don't need this.
Everino with the fastest lap.
One thing, how did we not notice Quintino's problem?
Because we were paying attention to the other battles and everything.
Yes.
I'm just managed to get the car stopped in the circuit, the hardest braking zones on the calendar, for a change. Anyway, he's gonna have to come in careful on pit entry, of course, as Patel is at the back of this train with a lot of people in it. Quintino making way for all of them, as Patel is seizing on the opportunity. He's gonna try to overtake Adam Chabot here. He's got him. Can he get past Andrioli as well into the Parabolica? He cannot. That was quite close for Comfort, as Quintino will come into the pits. Warson, as Comfort made his way up into 3rd, as here goes Max Killen attacking Aaron Curtis into the first corner. Quite close, but he couldn't make it work. Meanwhile, Quinn attempts to overtake Kulisic, fails. Wallinger, meanwhile, overtakes Zorbach as the Tour Grand Prix is jostling for position there. Patel locks up heavily. I think he's running to the back of Andrioli there. No, not Andrioli, sorry. Chobot, but narrowly he missed him.
That's just... yeah.
Big lock up there for the Spa race winner. Man, 2nd in the championship is not having a good time right now. Neither is this guy, Gabriel Quintino. His brilliant run is probably going to come to an end unless he can pull some sort of miraculous comeback and find his way into the points. As Hamid is battling with Zorbach here and towards the second chicane. Zorbach holds on to the position. Tsunome is pressuring the Grand Prix of Farina as Patel's got back past Chobot. He didn't stay behind him for too long.
And meanwhile there, Dennis Graff, 6th place. And then coming to battle for 4th. Skillen tries to make a move at Ascari. No, not quite.
Network has lost a lot of time with that entry. As here goes Wallinger on the attack of Joseph Eric Suto. These two guys, I'm sure Suto has quite some grievances at him for butchering his name completely. He's going to try to keep him behind as Broster has collided with Adam Chobot, completely wiped him out of the race. And that is our first retirement of the day. Broster's taken damage. But yeah, Chobot is completely out of this, and this is not good. He is in the top 7 in the championship, of course, and he'll probably lose places if things stay as is. He is the first retirement today, as his teammate is just about to get overtaken by Dennis Graff in the first corner. Graff takes advantage, breaks late as he dares, and he's got the place. Watch for Zorbach, meanwhile. He's going to try to overtake Hamid, and he's in a side-by-side battle with Watzel as well. He stayed in front of Watzel, but still down in 14th as Burns had an attempt on Tsunonome, but he couldn't quite make it work. Let's see that Broster dive bomb once again. What do you tell me? What do you think about what happened here?
It's just impeding.
To me, it looks like Broster made no effort at all to turn in.
And then
Or
Chobot,
very little effort, at least.
yeah, just literally closed the door right there, Chobot. That wasn't called for.
I think both are a little bit to blame. I'm
Yeah.
not sure. I think Chobot was a little bit too aggressive on the defense, but that move was probably not going to stick for Broster right away. Looks like Warson's just hit the fastest lap meanwhile. as Protsuk is trying to chase after the race leader. We'll have Hamdusman Hamid in the meantime, attacking Vince Wallinger into the second chicane. The yellow flags are gone, but he hasn't taken the position. Meanwhile, the Art Grand Prix is fighting yet again, and Farina once again angry at his teammate, I bet. But they'll try to overtake Andreoli, but couldn't quite get the job done. Meanwhile, confirmation there that trouble is out. Ignore the marshal, he is stupid, he doesn't know what he's doing. The yellow flags have been lifted. These guys just didn't get the memo yet. And yeah, looks like Zorbak is sitting in 14th right now. He's going to try to get Hamid probably onto the main straight. Looks like Perignan is not having an easy time right now. He can't exactly pull away, as Curtis has just been overtaken by Graf. But overtaking in Parabolic is always very risky because you leave yourself vulnerable for counterattack on the straight. And with a lot of slipstream, Curtis is going for that counterattack.
Here we go, right the inside, right there, heavy braking. Can Curtis do it?
He's cleared him easily. Back in the 4th place he goes, as now here we have Henry Watzel trying to make a move on Zorbak. The man finished 2nd at Spa is going for it quite aggressively into turn 1. He's got him. Sononome has to jam on the brakes very aggressively. Big lock up there to avoid Luca Farina. Meanwhile, here we have Skillen back at it again, trying to overtake Graf, failing to overtake Graf. A 2nd up in the 1st sector for Skillen, that's fun. Meanwhile, here we have Burns trying to seize on the advantage that Tsunonome left in the wake of his lockup earlier. Can he clear him now? No, he can't. He's gonna have to stay behind. Matches his personal best sector 1 actually, but the perfect +0. In any case, Burns, yeah, stuck in P17. He's gonna have to clear some more places if he wants any sort of points. Here we have Graf attacking Curtis and knowing when to back out.
And going out of the Ascari, and Graf tries to catch up.
I think he's learned the lesson. He's not going to try to go for it again in Parabolica. But as for Ben Svallinger, I don't really know. I think he is going to go for it on Joseph Suto. This is for a point spot, don't forget. We're going to keep an eye on that. But we're also going to keep an eye on this. Joe Watterson is making great progress. He's attacking Ruslan Protsuk for 2nd. And can the Kiwi take it?
Side by side, heavy braking, right at the inside. It does
yes,
work.
He can. Great work for Joel Watterson. Looks like he has the fastest car on track as of right now. He's doing quite well. Meanwhile, Soto is attacking Wallinger, shuts the door aggressively here into turn 1. This could end ugly, and it does! Pushes Wallinger up into the air. He rejoins dangerously, and he's taking him out. Oh my goodness me.
And it is ugly.
I think that could very well be a penalty for a grid penalty for Wallinger next time around. As Graf has just made his way past Curtis. The yellow flags are not in that area, so it's all okay for Graf. There is another 2 retirements. Here goes Hamid attacking Watzel for his now 10th place, and he can make the job. He can get the job done. But oh my goodness me, these two guys had some animosity between each other ever since that fateful day when a certain name was butchered, and now it's gone up to 11.
So that
I don't think Suto did anything wrong initially until he overshot the corner and forced Wallinger off the road. You know?
apparently, indeed, Suto might have overshot it at the corner, unintentionally hit it Waldinger, and then.
But this
that
rejoin
happened.
was absolutely stupid. He tried to get back at the 90-degree angle to the track. What did he think was going to happen? There was a runoff there for a reason. For the first part would be Suto's fault, but the rejoin is absolutely Wallinger's fault.
No penalty.
No penalty. That's strange, but alright.
Because it's a very short run.
Okay.
I don't think Waldinger could have done that much, actually.
Okay then. Well, in any case, you have Max Skillen trying to get back on the back of Van Curtis. Try to overtake him here. The yellow flags have already been lifted at turn 1. So the marshals are quite quick. Here goes Skillen. He's quite quick also. But Curtis manages to keep him behind. Pulisic, meanwhile, holding on to P8 nicely. Let's take a look at this. Sonome tried to go for a double move, but he thought better of it and he backed out. Looks like Tomaselli is now to the back of Skilling. He's lost so much time with the failed move in Ascari. Look at it. He's a second down on Curse now. Let us know what you think in the chat over that incident with Valnger and Zudo. Let us know your opinions, of course. But here we have Zorbak. Watch for Tsunome behind. He's going to try to overtake Farina. But Andrioli is getting involved as well. He's getting his knickers in a twist. And let's see what's going to happen. Here goes Zorbak. No yellow flags are there. Ignore the marshal. Zorbak goes for it. So does Farina. Watch out. And everyone gets from escape. Zorbak gets the position. Perignan continues to lead. His lead has been cut to 1.1 seconds.
Then we're coming to Kula's Edge. He's now currently in 8th place, just behind Tomaselli by over a second. And yep,
Yeah,
he's
indeed.
still catching up.
Looks like we got some varied opinions in the chat as Tsunome is vulnerable to an attack from Burns here. In towards the first last mode, the American's not quite close enough, but he might try something down at Variante Ascari. But he also has to worry about Rahul Patel breathing down his neck, so this could be interesting. Let's see what's gonna happen here. Tsunome is holding on the inside for now, but now I'm not sure if he'll defend or not. Burns is gonna go for it, that's for certain. Will Patel sit behind? Looks like he will. Here goes Burns. He failed to make that move work, and now he'll be a target for Patel, I'm sure. Meanwhile, look at this. Skillins finally made the move on Curtis into the Parabolica, but these guys are still close, and Curtis will have the advantage of the toe. Meanwhile, Warson is gaining quite a lot on his Espernia, and he'll be in striking distance by the end of this lap, I'm sure, as they're still side by side, but Curtis will have the inside line. If we can just get him on the brakes, he'll be back in 5th place, which he is.
And another
Meanwhile, here
side-by-side
we
moment
have
right there.
Hamid side by side with Farina. Can he clear him? Into the first corner. He's gonna have to brake later than him, which he does. Good move.
Yes.
And yeah, that's all she wrote. As Patel did indeed get past Burns. And to Parabolica, he waited till the Retfilio and got him there. Alright. Farina will still be obviously close to the back of Hamid. Zorbak is pulled away from these guys, but look at this. Warson has gone much, much closer. The gap is under 10 between himself and Perignan. So why are we hanging out with these guys? Skill and Curtis. There's also a fight for the lead, but in any case, we have Max Skill attacking Aaron Curtis. Down the curve Serraglio and in towards Variante Ascari. Can he make the move work this time? Let's see. Right on the brakes. Ooh, that was quite
Just
close
not.
for comfort. The Skill once again having to hang back.
And then Hamid currently in 12th place. So far he needs to defend 12th place.
Yeah, indeed. Here we have Tomaselli. He's trying to jump the gun on Max Skill and get him after that mistake he made earlier in Yaskari, and he did not get him initially, no. He'll still have the slipstream. Meanwhile, we have to jump to the leaders. Look at the minimap. Warson is gunning for the lead. We're looking at Tomaselli right now. Damn you, automatic camera. Here we have Lorenzo Tomaselli going for the move on Max Skill into the Variante de Retificio. Curtis locks up, but it didn't harm him either way. Tomaselli gets the move done. Quite aggressive on the brakes, but he's made it work. And why are we ignoring the leaders? Stupid automatic camera. But here we have Luca Farina making his way up to 13th place, passing to Androli. And now we're finally gonna not jump to the leaders. Are you kidding me? Here goes Skillen trying to get back at Tomaselli into the second chicane. Has to back out of it. Finally, we're at the leaders. There's quite a tussle here, forming up between Hesperian and Joel Warson. Hesperian, the hero of Baku, Joel Warson, the villain of Baku, if you remember that race. I think ever since then, when he caused a pretty stupid crash, Joel Warson did, ever since then he's been seeking redemption, and he might very well get it today if he can just win this race. Looks like he's already gonna go for it into the Parabolica. Is Perignan gonna let him go and try to fight back? There's also a fight behind between Graf and Protsiuk. Warson has gone for it, but Perignan has kept him at bay. You know, Graf has cleared Protsiuk, but do expect the counterattack. As Killen has dropped behind Tomaselli there, yes, and I think he's under pressure from Kulisec behind. Here goes Warson though. He's got a lot of dough, and now he's gonna make his way past Perignan, or is he? Needs to get the overlap on him, and then jam on the brakes as hard as he can. and make the move stick into the first corner, which he does. Joe Larson is
Yes.
up into the lead.
And so far, are there any battles on track? It appears to be like no.
Are you
Oh,
kidding? Here
wait.
we have one right now. Andreoli is attacking Tsunome for P14 in the race. I assume Tsunome got him earlier, and now Andreoli is trying to get him back. Into
Going
the
to the
first
inside
corner, he
line.
has got him, yes.
And I
Meanwhile,
believe there are more battles.
Graf is going to try to get closer to these guys. He's overtaken Project just now, and now he's going to try to close on to Pernian. Meanwhile, take a look at this, because Pernian and Tsunome are not done. That's not Tsunome, sorry, that's Hamid. I saw orange, and I immediately thought of the Japanese driver, but it was actually Hamid. As look at this, skilling all over the back of Tomaselli. He's definitely feeling very frustrated. He's made some mistakes. Should be challenging Curtis right now, but he was too aggressive at Ascari, and that led Tomaselli with an opportunity which he took at the first chance he got. Skinland, meanwhile, stays nicely behind, as Orson has already pulled a 1 second advantage over Perryman. Here goes Farina attacking Hamid. Mid-variant Ascari. Hamid goes wide, but he keeps him behind, no problem. Skillen,
Yeah.
meanwhile, trying to get back past Tomaselli into the Parabolica. Side by side, he's not got him, but he will have the advantage of the slipstream onto the long front straight. Let's see if he can clear him.
Switching to the right side of the track. Right now, Skillen with the straight line speed, side by side right there. And coming to the braking zone.
See if he can clear it this time. And he's got him
Yes.
back into 6th place, but Curtis is 3 seconds up the road. Meanwhile, look at this. Farina's going to try to make it 3 wide. He's going to dive past Tsunome and maybe Andreoli as well. But Tsunome has hit Andreoli and set him off the road. Watch out, Santino. Don't rejoin like your teammate did. Thankfully, he doesn't. He's rejoined safely all the way down in P17. That's our position for the two guys who are behind. As Luca Farina, this was an opportunistic move, but in the end, it was Tsunonome who made the first misstep. What do you
It was
think?
really close. Really close.
I think Farina was trying to force an error from one of these guys, and Tsunonome took the bullet. And unfortunately, Andreoli had to eat that bullet. And yeah, some hard racing, I guess. Meanwhile, here goes Farina attacking Tsunonome for P12 in this race. At the second chicane, he's not got him. He's gonna have to worry about Hamid coming from behind. But take a look at this. He's getting another shot at the Lesmo, which he can't quite clear. Waterson's increased his advantage even more. It's up to 2.4 now. Quite impressive, believe it or not. Meanwhile, here we have Farina. Still trying to get on Hento, but he is nowhere near close enough. Hamid is much closer. He's going to try to attack him. Into variant Ascari. Backs out early though for good measure. Meanwhile, Gwen is under attack from Henry Watzel, and back for 9th place. Here goes a Brit. And it looks like he had a little bit of understeer. He didn't quite complete the move. But he didn't lose a lot of time. He's got some good traction. And we'll try to get him on the straight using the slipstream as Burns makes a move on Patel. Side by side, still they go for the Parabolica. But Patel will have the slipstream from the car in front, which is Hamid. As now Watzel's making a move on Gwen. Can he get him into the first corner? Yes, he can, is the answer. Patel and Burns still side by side. Who's gonna come out on top of this squabble? Latest on the
It's gonna be
brakes. Will be
Patel.
Rahul Patel on this one. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And in any case, we got some pit calls already. Joel Warson and Dennis Graf have been fueled quite light in this race. That would explain their incredible pace early on. And that also shows that they're gonna pit quite early. Warson, I think he definitely took a calculated risk with his strategy, as now Graf tries to make a move on his Perignon. That was just a waste of time. He lost himself second. In any case, he's gonna come into the pits, and so is the race leader. Perignon will take back the lead, temporarily of course. I'm definitely surprised by Warson's light fuel strategy. Looks like he gambled it all on getting up to the lead, and then trying to hold on in the second stand. Let's see if that strategy will pay off. Graf's come in as well. I think the overcut might be especially strong here, but we'll see. I think Watson still has solid pace no matter what happens. As in comes the race leader, and in comes Skillen as well, and Graf. Is there anybody else heading into the pits this lap? We
Perhaps
will
not.
see. 8.1 second stop for Joe Larson. That's the risk of pitting early. They gotta put more fuel in your car, so it's gonna take longer. Graf's stop was a little bit better, half second better, as looks like Larson will rejoin just side by side with Hamid, because Hamid will try to dive it into turn 1, but he'll stay behind. Meanwhile, look at this, Andreoli side by side with Burns, and he uh, muscles his way past. Graf is right behind these guys. I thought he'd be in the thick of things, and he's just about.
And then Dennis Graf comes inside 15 to try to catch up to the
Seems
13th place
Andreoli is
battle.
going to pit this lap, as Farina's just exited the pits right now. Tomaselli will wait for 2 laps before he comes in, and looks like Nguyen and Zorbak are pitting this lap, as well as Andreoli. So there's that going for them. In any case, Kulisevich has been promoted to P5 from the pit stop, but he's going to have to worry about Watzel. Zorbak chasing Gwen meanwhile. It'll be interesting to see how that battle develops, because they did battle in Spa, of course, before and after the pit stops. Looks like Watzel's going aggressive right out the bat on Kulisevich. He's going to dive into the Parabolica, but can he make it work? And the answer is no,
No.
he didn't. But that actually works out better for him, because it's better to be behind exiting Parabolica, because you can just slingshot your way past with the slipstream. Side by side they go. He doesn't have a massive speed advantage. He's gonna have to get the job done on the brakes, which he does no problem. Henry Watson up into provisional 5th. As Zorbak has just come in, so has Sinonome, and so has. Wait, wasn't Gwen supposed to pit this lap? Or it was Sinonome, my mistake.
And let's see the pit stop time right there made by Sinonome.
6.4 for Zorbak. That's absolutely impressive. Don't forget, Warstone had an 8.1, so that's an incredible job for Zorbak. Sinonome had an 8.2 and really 7.6, so we didn't see the other time from Max Skillen, I believe that was. A very quick stop for
He got
Zorbak.
10 up
21 laps
though.
of fuel. Oh. Oh shit. By Andreoli. So all that great work from the mechanics came to nothing. Well, and I had that pit stop up for nothing. Let's see what Skillen had. His stop was... Did they just change his wing, or am I drunk?
He got damage.
Yeah, how did that happen? He went off the track, Max Skillen did. That's a massive shame. He was in the points. Ooh, he went off the track at the second last mo and broke his front wing in the gravel. Reminds me a lot of the mistake Rick Yan made on the last lap. In 2015 it was? But yeah, in the top class I mean. Max Skillen made a costly mistake, and that's kicked him out of the points. He's had to come in again to get that damage repaired. I was surprised when I saw him in the pits, because I saw he pitted already. It looks like he's had to do it again. That's a costly mistake for Max Skillen. What do you think, man?
A driver error is a driver error, and you just cannot deny that. You cannot blame anyone else but yourself.
Yeah, as Aaron Curtis is now coming in, he's not gonna have to worry about Skillen anymore, but then he comes either way.
Praying for the quick pit stop right there, Curtis.
Yeah, he doesn't have a chance to win this race anymore, I don't think, but he's gonna hope his teammate can get the job done for Trident. We'll see. 20 laps of fuel in his wagon, and what's his stop gonna be like? It is a 6.4, the same as Zorbak, but without any traffic. Kyle Burns is also into the pits.
And what's his pit stop time gonna be? 7.9.
7.9. Yeah, Burns had a curious event, pretty much. He took pole in Spa, of course, in a historic tie with Holt Patel, but then was the first to retire. Now, he started last. Let's see where he's gonna end up. Has got 2 further pit calls. I believe that was Lorenzo Tomaselli was one of them, and Henry Watson right behind him. Yes, Kulisevich is staying out a little longer, as are the front two of Pernian and Pratsiuk. So Lorenzo Tomaselli is going to come into the pits this lap, of course. Kulisevich is going to stay out a little longer, but I wonder about Nguyen, if he'll pit now or not. In goes Lorenzo Tomaselli, and in goes Henry Watzel. It'll be interesting to see which of the mechanics get their job done faster. Maybe Watzel could get the jump on Tomaselli, but we'll see. Here comes the Art, and here comes the Campos. The two are right next to each other. 6.6 for Tomaselli, great effort. Watzel obviously has to wait a little. 7.3 for him.
Yeah.
If it were the other way around, he might have got the jump, but like this, he's staying behind. Curtis will be in front of both of them, of course. But it'll be interesting to see if Tomaselli and Watzel can close up in the second stint. As Watzel rejoins in front of Carpel Quintino, who's going to have to make his second stop. And his first scheduled stop, might I add. As Pernian, meanwhile, is going to come in this lap, the race leader, which will leave Ruslan Protsik into the lead as he's not going to pit. While Nguyen is also scheduled to pit this lap, Wojtek Kulisevich will move on to second, provisionally. Looks like Warson has cleared Hamid, so he's in clean air right about now. Pernian, it'll be interesting to see how much closer he can get to Joel Warson, if at all. That could be an interesting factor for the second stint because he'll be 4 laps fresher on tires, I think, and that could make a difference, but we'll see. Here comes Pernian. Keanu Curtis already squabbled for the lead in Baku, and Pernian got him. He got Curtis in the pit stop. Now he's fighting against Curtis' teammate for the win. Looks like Pernian really likes fighting the Tridents, eh? But in any case, in he comes. What is his stop going to be like? It is a 6.5 second stop. Not the quickest, but very quick effort. Will we come out in relation to Warson? I still think Warson will be in front, but not majorly in front. Let's see. It's actually closer than we think, but Warson is still in front, yes. Pernian will remain in front of Hamid, so he's free to chase after Warson. Gwyn is also into the pits, and his stop was 6.9.
6.9. And
18 laps of fuel in his wagon, and he'll be in clean air. He's jumped Sorback by miles, I think. Yes, he has. Watch out though, Hamid is going for the move on Pernian. These guys don't even have to race each other. Hamid hasn't pitted yet. He's spinning this lap, but Pernian has kept him at bay easily. Quintino has come in, and he didn't want this to be his second stop, but alas it is.
6.7 seconds.
Protsuk still in the lead. He'll be pitting next lap. This lap, his teammate, which is Jucksman Hamid, will come in. Kulisevich into second. You still got 2.9 laps in his wagon. He'll come in next lap for sure. I wonder what strategy these guys are up to. They're fueled very heavy, but they're obviously trying to take advantage from that and be very quick in the last stint. If they can get some overtakes done, they might be able to gain a lot of positions. What do you think, man? If you don't have an opinion, that's also okay.
Yeah, I don't have any opinions so far.
Hamid dives into the pits, but they will stay out another lap, but he'll have to come in this lap. He won't have enough to make any lap further than that. But it looks like... Was he held up?
No,
he kept going
because
just fine.
I fixed the pit.
Hooray, hooray! Hallelujah, Flo finally fixed that darn glitch. If only it was fixed in 2015 and when I got passed by a manor in the top class. But in any case, Hamid is coming into the pits for his one and only stop of the day. Fingers crossed it's the one and only stop. I don't want any sort of commentator's curse. Anyway, 17 laps of fuel for the Indonesian. And what is his time going to be? Is a 8.2, not good.
But that's just too bad right there for Hamid.
That's not going to do him a lot of good. I think he might be jumped by a few people here. Andreoli has jumped him, yes. He would have been in front of Andreoli if his stop were 6.4 or something like that. But alas, he hasn't got the job. Meanwhile, Sinonome is right behind Zorbak, as the front two will pit, giving Joel Warson the lead back. Bell will pit as well. But here goes Hento Sinonome, Can he get Zorbak in the second chicane? Yes, he can. Zorbak breaks early, and Hento makes his way through.
That was a
Meanwhile,
brilliant move,
that's
by the way.
Pratsuk coming in. Yeah, it was alright. It was an alright move. As here goes Pratsuk. Let's see how much he can gain on Joel Larson and Hesperian. He's been fueled the heaviest of all, and he's going on the attack in the second stint, I'm sure. He's already won in Hungary, and he's only ever won in Hungary. Maybe he can get a win somewhere else. And he's gonna try to win here in Italy. Let's see what happens. 7.6 seconds stop. Not the best, but not the worst. Let's see where he will emerge. Kulisec and Patel are also in the pits, meaning Larson is going to lead this race. And Pernian is going to be in second, right? Yes, he is. And looks like Protsuk has just about jumped Dennis Graf. Oh, Graf might be feeling frustrated about that one. Kulisec, meanwhile, will rejoin in P number 8. P number 8. He'll still get some points like this. Patel has just had to stop 6.5 seconds, and he'll try to charge after the points in the second stint with the fresh stars of all. He's in P13, only 3 places away from some points. I'm sure the engineers are telling him on team radio to go and get them. Broster, meanwhile, I believe, has a pit call as we got a yellow flag at turn 1. It's for Luca Farina. I believe he has a problem, which is why he crashed out, because he didn't take anyone else out with him, and looks... Or did he just crash on his own?
Another driver error, it seems.
Oh, he did crash on his own. Luca, what are you doing? He's disappointing the Tifosi. Oh my goodness. Their home favorite is out. He hit the curb there, look. And
yes.
that
a very
that pretty
bad
much
error.
He lost the front end entirely and just understeered off into the gravel, and the wall was the only thing that could stop him. But Luca Farina is out, and I said Patel had to gain 3 positions to be in the points, but he's already gained 1.
Oh
But
my
yeah,
god. You gotta be
we got
kidding
another
me right there.
retirement to the name of Luca Farina, and that is one of the top 7 in the championship, don't forget.
Well, that was a
Yes,
major
now here we have
disappointment.
Watzel attacking the only Italian left in the race. He's going after Enzo Tomaselli. His teammate is out, so it's up to him to carry the torch for our Grand Prix. Watzel goes for it and stays back. Tomaselli is not letting him have it easy. Meanwhile, Andreoli and Patel are squabbling for P12. Let's see if the Frenchman can make his way past the Indian here. Patel shuts the door early, and Andreoli is left with no choice but to stay behind. Good preemptive defense from Patel there, I must admit. Now let's see if he has the pace to go after the guys in front. As looking at the minimap, it does appear to be rather close between the front 4, which is interesting news. I wonder if Larson has the pace to hold on as Patel's just gone off the track. He's gone off the track. Oh, and he just about avoids the wall, but he spins down the rejoin. Almost collects Hamid, but thankfully not. My goodness, that was hair and scary for Hoop Patel as Broster comes in to make his stop. But oh my goodness me, Patel is going to have to fight even harder now if he wants to get a point out of this race. He was maybe pushing just a little bit too hard to try to catch Zorbak.
Just look at the spin. A 360.
That was spectacular. But save that for practice. And Hamid, look how lucky he was to avoid him. The rear end of Patel's car came charging at him, and Hamid avoided him by so narrow a margin. There, look.
Oh my god.
He's like one lucky guy today.
That would
and
have been
he's up in 13th.
a very bad crash.
Would it have been a penalty if it were a crash?
No chance to avoid it. How should you avoid it? It's the game. But yes, as Yuri said, +2 style points for Rahul.
And meanwhile, Rahul is still complaining.
Oh well. Anyway, here we have Hesperian into second place in this race. He's chasing after Joel Larson. He's got 2.1 second gap to chase after. He's also got 2.1 second gap with some project behind to worry about. So he's got to chase one gap and protect the other gap. Anyone could win this race, really. And anyone out of these 4.
But
Bless you.
Thank you.
In any case, Protsiuk appears to be pushing as Santino Androli is obviously taking advantage from Pitel's error and moved up into 12th place. Here we have Henry Watzel going after Lorenzo Tomaselli for round 2. So he's a little far back to be trying everything from here, unless he wants to end up like his teammate. And yeah, he thinks better of it, there was no chance. As the gap has just gone down to 2.1 in a sector split. It was 2.3, it's gone down to 2.1. The project has gotten closer, so this could be a freeway fight truly. As now here goes Watson for a second shot at second chicane. Can he make it work this
Inside.
time on Tomaselli?
No.
He's starting to slow down a little bit there. Meanwhile, Pernian, he's got the newer tires than Lars, and he's gonna try to take advantage. So is Kulisek trying to take advantage of Joel, not Joel. I was thinking of Joel Hatter for goodness sake for a second. No, Henry Watzel, and Henry Watzel's kept him at bay. In any case, look at the front four there, and look at Curtis behind. Curtis doesn't have a shot to to scrap at these guys. The front four, anybody could win this race. 2.2 between the leaders, it's fluctuating narrowly. But one mistake could change everything. It doesn't even have to be a big one. If Barson loses the gap, he'd be toast. Watzel, meanwhile, couldn't get the job done on to the Parabolica. He's gonna have to try again on Tomaselli onto the max straight. But Kulisek has the same idea. This could end very pretty or very ugly, depending on who you ask. And now look at this, almost a free ride moment. Who's gonna come out on top of this? Is Kulisek going to send? And now he's backing out, being the smart guy here. He doesn't want to risk a major pileup. Watzel's through into P6, and Kulisek is now going to be targeting Lorenzo Tomaselli. 1.9, Perni has closed another 2/10, and it's also 1.9 to Protsiuk behind. Graf is 1.6 behind. So everybody could win this race in the top 4. Here goes Kulisek.
Inside? No.
Oh, he's locked up! He's locked up! Kept on track though. But he's lost back time to Tomaselli. He's gonna have to wait before he can try anything again. Meanwhile, Gwyn is scrapping in front of Sononome, his teammate, far behind them, it looks like. Tell me, man, who do you think is going to win this race?
The winner so far, I think, is going to be either Watterson or Perignon. It's going to be either two of them in my book.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens. I think even Graf has a shot. So yeah, I wouldn't count anybody out. It's looking interesting. Look how close these guys are, each to each other. Everyone keeping it within 2 seconds of the car in front. Could be very interesting, you know. As I just said that, Graf has just dropped out of the second reach to Protsiuk, but we'll see what happens. This race is still not done, nowhere near done. We have 9 laps to go, and those 9 laps everything can change. It looks like Pernian has lost a lot of time. There's some Protsiuk right about now. Protsiuk has a personal best lap there, you can see from the green. And in the first sector, he's gone even quicker. 1.4 seconds down on the Spaniard. What's the gap between Pernian and Warson, I wonder? Is 2.1. He's lost some time. Gwen, meanwhile, holding off his teammate. I wonder if there'll be any team orders at play here.
Oh boy, it might be the Carlin Civil War coming up.
Oh, interesting. Meanwhile, I will check the chat now to see if there are any live standings. There are, but I don't know if those are old or not, but it looks like Curtis would lead by 14 points if stay that it is. Prots could be into second and Pernian would be into third as things stand. So I'm sure both these guys are very hungry for this win. And now Stenome attacks his own teammate. Careful boys, into Ascari, and Gwen lets him go without much of a fight. Maybe they're thinking of maximizing the team's total rather than throwing all their eggs in the Drivers' Championship basket. Who knows, really? Zorbak is not too far behind these guys, but not too close either.
And of course, I see Senonome ahead of Nguyen, and must be the
Looks
team
on the
order.
minimap like Protsiuk is really close to back of Pernian. We could be seeing an overtake soon. In any case, Onome has pulled a decent gap to his teammates, so he's not gonna have to worry about him anymore. Gap is 1.1, and we will look at the others when we get the chance. Meanwhile, yes, we have Ruslan Project. He's all over the back of his Pernian. He's definitely been gaining quite aggressively, and now he's gonna try to go for a move. Into Anti-Scary straight off the bat, Pernian shuts the door, and Project backs out. He's not lost much time though. Looks like he'll have another crack at him in towards the Parabolica. He's going at it right off the bat. Can Ruslan Project make the move work for second place in this race? Let's
Maybe.
see, has it got him? No, he's not, but it's better to stay behind, and he's still side by side with him. He's actually now got him. That could be a little early, though. Looks like he's slowing down just a little bit on the straight. Let's try to stay side by side, but it's gonna go down to the last late breakers here. 3.4 is worse than the gap in front. But Protuk, has he got the job done for second place in this race? No, he hasn't.
No.
Bernian holds on. Or does he? Because here goes Protuk with the great traction around the outside. They're still side by side, these two guys. My goodness, this is going to help Graf get in the fight. Now to the Curva Grande they go. Side by side still. When is this fight going to end? Looks like Protuk might have just got it. But Bernian will try to launch it back into the second chicane. No, Protuk's got him.
Yeah,
But the gap,
remember
has
that
grown massively.
Protyuk stopped a little later, so he will have to charge to get the victory, maybe even.
Yeah, in any case, you interrupted you interrupted Graf attacking Pernian. But in any case, Protuk will have a 4.7 second gap to chase after. This duel has given Joel Warton quite a lot of favors, if I dare say so myself. Looks like Pernian could drop out of the podium now because here comes Graf. No, he doesn't drop out of the podium. But in any case, we'll have to keep an eye on the gap between the front two. That could be interesting. Looks like Protyuk is quite determined to push. 6.7, the gap grew even further, I guess, at the second chicane because, there's a bit a little bit. He's going to be a second lap faster if he wants to catch up. But seeing how quickly he closed up on Tuperian, he might have a shot, who knows. Let's see.
6 laps left.
Warson pitted quite early, don't forget. 3/10 are single sector. He might be able to catch. We'll have to wait and see if he can stay consistent, of course. But I think Pernian has helped Joe Warson a little bit, and he could be taking his first victory at the same track with his former teammate Marko Kalovic, because first and only victory here last season. Joe Warson could be set to do the same. He's had a shaky season so far, but he can rectify all of that today. Protyuk is definitely pushing quite hard. Looks like Pernian will have to contend with Graf for the rest of this race. Curtis is too far back to be in contention for P4 in this, or for P3, I believe. 3.8 down, I don't think he'll be in the fight. Protyuk is pulling away substantially from Pernian, but we'll keep an eye on the gap between himself and Joel Warson at the front. Flo, type us in the chat what is the next race, by the way. In any case, Graf is St. Prix right now, right behind Pernian. He's not going for the move just now. 6.2, I think Watterson is okay. He gained so much in the squabble. Yeah, Protyuk had some put on a very good show fighting with his Pernian, but during that show he cost himself a lot of time. It would have been precious if he wanted to chase after the race leader. 5 laps to go in this race, and Joel Warson is just going to bring it home. The stand charge from Protyuk.
Graf trying to charge right there towards Perignan, but seems like still too far.
Yeah, not close enough to make a move. He's gonna have to wait for it. But Perignan was very, very good on the brakes in the first corner. It'll be tricky to pass, that's for sure. Meanwhile, we have Kyle Burns racing Rahul Patel for 14th place. 6.3 the gap is right now. Looks like Warson actually gained a tenth. He gained that at 6.4. Has Protyuk given up on the charge, perhaps?
Here we go.
I don't know, but Hiraf Patel is just at personal best lap. He's trying to make amends for his spin earlier. He does by taking P14. Next target for him is Mohamed Usman Hamid. He's got 5 laps to go to try to catch him up. Meanwhile, Pernian is once again on attack from Graf, but the German is not close enough to take advantage. Live
Here we go.
standings right now, Kurz 106, Protsuk 95, Patel 86, Pernian 86, Gwen 81, Chobot 80, Farina 76. Interesting. By the way, if it ends as is, I do believe some people will be out of championship hunt, including Wojtek himself, of course. Actually, I think Joel Warsick could be out of championship fight too, I'm not quite sure.
Right now, Graf getting
Mathematically, I mean,
closer.
of course. Yeah, it looks like he's gonna get him this time. Pernian lacking in straight line speed right now. Graf sends it down the inside. Into third place he goes. He's on the podium. Pernian's gonna have to sell for fourth, I believe.
Well, that was an effortless move.
You still have to put in the work though. Don't forget that. In any case, Tomaselli is defending from Wojtek Kulisec. Kulisec pitted quite late. He's gonna try to take advantage of his newer tires and get the job done. Protsuk is not gaining onto Arston at all. So the Fury looks good for a race win.
Coming to Kulisec, 8th place, trying to catch up.
Yeah, he's trying, but if he can pass or not, that's another story. Let's see if he can get him in towards Variantascari. Down the curve of the Serralio they go. A pair of them. He's gonna go for it down the inside with Wojtek Kulisec. Careful on the brakes. And can he get the job done? He
No.
can't. Tomaselli stays in front. Meanwhile, Pernian is still hanging on close to the back of Graf. That fight might not be over yet. 3 laps to go. And here we have Hento Sinonome. He's gained right off the back of Wojtek Kulisec after attempting Ascari. He might try to get him into the Parabolica. Let's see. Can he get the job done? And yes, he can. Looks like Carlin were right to use team orders. They're still side by side, so it's not over yet. Sinonome will have the inside for turn 1 though, so that's a good for him. Let's see who's gonna come out in front of this squabble.
Coming to Retafilo, heavy braking, and
He's got him. No difficulty at all. Meanwhile, Santino Andreoli is gaining on Nicolas Zorbach and Juan Nguyen. This fight between the three of them is for a point, don't forget. Nguyen might have to watch his mirrors because he's gonna have to work hard for that 1 point. And Zorbach and Andreoli both want it quite hard. But Andreoli's gonna go on the attack on Zorbach right now. And to Variante de Roger, can he get him on the brakes? Go up into 11th place? Yes, he can. Good move for Santino Andreoli there. Next target for him is Juan Nguyen. Can he get that last point? We'll see. Meanwhile, at the front, things appear to have died down. Larson is doing a good job managing the gap to Protsuk and all. So, yeah. Tomaselli continues to stay in 7th as the gap is 6.4 seconds. The gains are only marginal. It doesn't. 2 laps to go, and it's all looking good for Joe Larson. Unai Virtuosi, meanwhile, will lead by 27 points in the team standings if it stays as is from Trident in second. Trident gaining some big points today with both drivers in the top 10, both drivers in the top 5, sorry, and one of them in the front of the pack, of course. Man, are you still there?
I'm still here.
Well, what do you think of Joe Larson's performance so far today?
I'm going to say his performance is impressive, and I think if he ever get this win, surely it might help him entering into championship fight as soon as possible. Hopefully.
Well, nah, I think he'll be pretty much out of the championship fight because, well, if you want to know, right now, before this race, he was in P19 in the standings with just 13 points. He's 86 points behind his 18. heading into this race, he's 83 points behind his teammate. So the championship, he'll still be in it mathematically, of course, but he won't have a lot of chances, honestly. I don't think he's doing this for the championship. He's just doing it for his own sake to do well. And he's been on the podium a few times last season, not so far this season. It looks like he's gonna get in now. We're on to the final lap as Hento Sonome is edging closer to back of Lorenzo Tomaselli. Gonna try gun past him into P7. Let's see if Hento can make it work.
Coming to the inside line right there, crossing the line right there to start their final lap, and inching ahead right there, Hento, side by side with Lorenzo, coming to heavy braking, Rettofilo, and
No
the
problem
result
at
is,
all. He's got him.
yeah,
He's tested. He's tested. He's not tested. He's been in free practice from McLaren today in the top class, and now he's used that experience. He's put that experience to good use as he jumped into P7. Meanwhile, here we have the race leader on to the last lap. He's actually improving on his personal best. Does he hold the fastest lap? I'm not sure. He might beat the fastest lap. In
He
any
has the
case,
fastest lap.
looks like he might set the fastest lap right at the end of the race. But Joel Watson, he's been on the podium once or twice in 2019. This season, he hasn't had much luck at all. He's only scored points 3 times. Last time in Silverstone, when he finished P6, that was his best showing of the season. Well, now he's gonna get one hell of a better showing than that, because for the first time ever, Joel Watson is a GP2 race winner. Joel Watson wins the Italian Grand Prix. Fantastic drive.
what a race for him, well done, and Brazil crosses the line to take second place. And
Big
third,
points in the
Dennis
championship
Graf.
fight for Prozio. Graf finishes third, as Perrin will have to sell for P4, but he's still getting his points on Curtis, who finishes P5 to extend his advantage at the front. Henry Watson will finish P6 on this race. He didn't improve on his personal best there. Henderson Gnome, with a great last lap, will finish P7. He will. Lorenzo Tomaselli P8, Wojtek Kulisevich P9, and we have a fight to the flag for last point between Androli and Nguyen.
Oh
Who's gonna
boy.
get it?
Who's gonna
Who's
take
gonna
it?
get it? Looks like Nguyen has just about hold on by 0.02 of a second. My goodness.
My God.
He's
Wow.
just about get them back for one championship point. Patel 14th, Burns 15th, Coutinho 16th, Skellin 17th, and Broster will be the last one to finish the race in P18. And yeah, not to be his day, I'm afraid, today.
Man, I nearly had a heart attack right
But
there.
last race, no, not last race, last week, in BTCC in Alton Park, the race win was decided by 0.003 of a second, between in a very very close scrap between Igor Peter and Jafari Blackwood. Now P10 has been decided by even less than that, just 0.002. But enough about the back end of the points. At the front of the points, there's one man taking all the glory for today, because at Monza for the first time, Joel Larson has become a Grand Prix winner. Congratulations to him and to the Trident team. I think it's been a long time coming, but Joel Larson has finally won a race. His teammate has upstaged him all season up until today. Congratulations, Joel. You've won today. Well, that was certainly an interesting race. Here we have the race results. Joel Larson is the winner. Ruslan Project in second, and Dennis Graf in third, completing the podium. Hez Pernian will have to settle for P4 after looking like he could have had a shot to win the race. In the end, he'll be P4. Still getting some good points, though, so I think he'll be happy with that. Aaron Curtis continues to lead the championship with a very solid and respectable showing in P5. And he Watson P6 or Hento Sonome in P7. Lorenzo Tomaselli P8, Wojtek Kulisevich P9, and then Juan Nguyen by 0.002 of a second holds on to P10 and one last point. Santino Androli, by the skin of his teeth, misses out on that last point due to the second half.
And then Zobak 12th, Hamid 13th, Patel 14th, Burns 15th, Quintino 16th, Skillen 17th, and Bruster 18th. And the drivers did not finish the race are Farina, Valdinger, Suto, Chobot, and that's all.
Yep, indeed, all as a result of crashes. But let's see who took the fastest lap. We already know, but I want to see what the fastest lap was anyway. Joel Barson took it by just about 600 of a second from Max Skillen. And don't forget, Skillen made 2 stops, so there's that. It looks like Larson was in a class of his own today. He didn't win by the greatest of margins, but a win is a win, and 27 points are heading his way. And in his honor, of course, I don't think we've ever heard this on a GP2 stream at the very least, but we're gonna hear it now, the New Zealand national anthem. All right. I like the sound of that, but before we announce the standalone race, it's the first time I get to ask you this question, of course. Man, who is your driver of the day today?
My driver of the day today, I have to say, it's going to be Dennis Graff, of course.
Dennis Graff. All right. Well, I'm actually gonna give it to Joel Larson. So it looks like Flo will have to break the tie.
Well, I will give the driver of the day to Watterson as well. Don't really
Sorry,
have to
man,
add
but
anything
you're being
else.
outvoted.
Fastest
I'm
lap,
afraid.
dominated pretty much.
Yeah,
That's it.
had a bad start, but he recovered right off the bat. And I was shocked when I saw him in P4 climbing up and getting all those places. In the end, he took the lead and he held on to it to the end by 6.4 seconds. Not even Ruslan's charge could make any dent on him. But now it's time to tell you guys what the next race will be. And this track, you've seen it plenty of times before in another category. I don't think GP2 has ever raced here, correct me if I'm wrong, but we'll be going to a place that one driver on the grid will call home. That one driver is Wojtek Kulisec because we'll be going to the Czech Republic, we'll be going to Brno for round 12 of this GP2 season. Round 11, sorry. That's it. We'll be going to Brno at the Maserek circuit, and it should be quite an entertaining one. What do you think, guys?
BRNO, never raced before. It's going to be a very, very fresh experience, nevertheless.
Yes, want to say for GP2, I tested the track. It should work quite okay. Only major concern is maybe the pit exit, but that's pretty rare that there are crashes happening. In DTM, it is not really that good, but for GP2, it works actually, and there should be a good race. So
Well, with three
look
races to go
forward
in
to
this
that.
championship, yeah, with 3 races to go in this championship, Brno will play host to quite an astounding round 11, I'm certain. But until then, do you have anything you'd like to say as a closing statement, man, for today?
Right, so, well, one thing, I need to sleep.
All right. Well, in any case, thank you so much, man, for doing this with me today. And as usual, thank you, Flo, for hosting. And thank you for, no, curse you for trolling us, but thank you for telling us at the end, of course, the track, because you only told us at the last second, man. In any case, I'm not mad at you or anything, but in any case,
I wanted to build up
congratulations.
the hype as well for you.
Ah, congratulations, Joel. And I think you'll be very satisfied with that. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching here. I know it wasn't the greatest of races, but it was still plenty of fun. What do you think? And we'll see you again for the next time at Bruno. When? In 1 or 2 weeks' time, Flo?
2 weeks.
Okay, we'll see you in 2 weeks. Finally, we'll get a week off. We can get to rest for a week. But in any case, we'll see you around in 2 weeks' time. But until then, that's been it from us. And take care of each other, guys. Ciao. Arrivederci.
Goodbye.